everyone. This is Roy from Traklife, and I'm here with the one and only Love Me Roommate. Thank you so much for taking the time with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So just first off, I wanted to ask you, where does the name Love Me Roommate come from? First.
So, Love Me Roommate is derivative of my desire to find a name, not only to be unique, but also just I wanted something like friendly and inviting, and Buddy was taken. And so
Mm,
I just kind of hit a thesaurus. I found roommate, and definition is to occupy the same home as another. And I was like, that's perfect. We're all roommates. We all share the same home and we all want to be loved. So love me, roommate.
wow. Okay, so insightful. I love that. And so with that in your catalog, you've released so much throughout the years. You've been so consistent. You had, the Empathies EP. You had LA. You had Wildlife and the remix with Pilon. Um, what is your music making process like? Do you listen to the beat first and then drop the lyrics on top of it, or do you come up with the lyrics first and then just whatever beat comes your way, kind of a thing?
So, so it honestly just depends, but for the most part, I write every day. So, I'm putting in my 10,000 hours. And so most of the time, I have either full or half written songs. And when I receive the beats, then I start to see which ones connect. And that's kind of how I go about it. I just write all the time. And I've learned as soon as I get the idea, like it doesn't matter what I'm doing, I got to write it.
Mm,
Cause I'm like, that's fire. I'm a remember. And I never do. So, but I also like to be in like soft, kind of small spaces. Like for some reason, I find my car to be super just comforting and my favorite place to write. It's just, I don't know. Like, like car conversations, there's
yeah,
something like personable about them. I don't understand.
no, absolutely. I totally get that. Um, a couple of my friends and I, we always sit in the car, just have those intimate conversations. I totally understand that point.
Intimate, that's the word.
Yeah. And with those songs, one of my favorite songs of yours is Alice in Wonderland. I love how you interpret um, the film with your lyrics, as far as, you say you're over, like your brain's overworking and you feel, overwhelmed sometimes in certain situations. So when it comes to those certain situations, how do you get yourself out of that funk? Like how do you get out of that mindset of, just taking that time for yourself to just be one at peace, you know?
So that's something that I've built up over the years,
Yeah.
and it all stems from cross country and everything that I've learned about life is from running. And one of the biggest takeaways is to get up when you fall. And so Alice in Wonderland, the main themes are about her growing through adolescence,
Mhm.
getting lost and finding her way. And I saw myself in that, and I was kind of going through a rut at the time. So initially, the song was written to myself and then to others, to the listeners. So it's about that bounce back of taking it to the chin, learning from it, and getting up. Like just continue moving, and you're always gonna find your way. Alice found her way. So can I. So can you. So can we.
Amazing. I love that. Um, and back to running, because I know that you mentioned that, it's inspired, as you are doing that. I saw you ran the LA Marathon. So what was that experience like, and how long did it take you to prepare for that? Or how often are you preparing for those?
So that was a last minute decision. I trained just a little over 3 weeks, and my friend just shout out Manny. He hit me up and was like, "Are you trying to run the marathon?" And I was like, "When?" And he told me, and it was like less than a month. And I was like, "That sounds terrible." Like I'm in. And so I just started training that day. As soon as he called me, I started training. I have that background in cross country collegiately. So the amount of miles that I put in college, it was just muscle memory. So I was just kind of able to kind of pick back up training. And over the years, I've kind of just learned what my body can take. and how much to push myself. So I made the best out of those 3 weeks, and I did way better than I thought. And I think a big part of it was I started taking supplements more serious. I was like, I need to get in my greens, my calcium, magnesium. I just started listening to myself and taking care of my body and just putting it all together. And I got a result that I'm really proud of in the time that I had it. And it inspired me to compete in a triathlon, which I'm also doing in July 21st.
Insane.
So I just like to compete. It don't really matter what it is.
Yeah. And I know we were talking off camera. You also do jujitsu. What inspired you to do jujitsu?
So I love MMA and UFC, and it was kind of just like the why can't I do it attitude. I see them and I'm like, yeah, I know it's difficult, but I'm confident in my athletic abilities. And I was like, I could do that. And I got my ass whooped for the first like 8 months. It's rough. It's a lot of skill and technique that don't typically come straight from runners. So it was an adjustment, and it's just really, it's like chess with your body.
Mm,
And it's a constant if this, then that. And you're also trying to predict what they're gonna do while also implementing your own offense. And it just works my brain in a way that I haven't used it. Also incorporating the body and techniques and arms, and there's just so much things that can happen at once. And I wasn't good at it. And I love that because I'm just learning and I feel and I see improvement every time. And so it's exciting. I'm improving, but it did whoop my ass first about 8 months, like every day. So it's brutal to start, but once you start picking it up, it's a lot of fun.
that's incredible. That kind of inspires me to want to do jujitsu because I've been wanting to at least kickbox, but that's really, really amazing. But anyways, back to the music. I'm sorry. With the topic of films in Alice in Wonderland, as that was the last song, you recently did a track life session with your song Bobby Boucher, which is
Yes.
inspired by, Waterboy with Adam Sandler. First of all, I just want to know, where did you get the jersey from? Because that jersey in that video is amazing. It's so sick. Where did you get it
Thank you.
from?
Shout out Jeff Bezos. I got that from Amazon. I got them in all three colors. I trimmed them to the length that I wanted.
Amazing.
And yeah, I'm really proud of that fit. I think it was the finishing touch to the song just to bring it together. So I love that jersey. I still wear it to this day. To this
I
day.
love that, man. And with that, are there any, I guess, what are your um like inspirations when it comes to films? Like, are you inspired by any other films and TV shows or books that you've read recently?
Yeah, so it just I'm just kind of taking everything in,
Yeah.
and it wasn't necessarily like Bobby Boucher. It wasn't the entirety of the movie. It was just like a scene where he's just doubted, and I felt that.
Mm,
And I was like, "Ah, I've been there."
yeah.
They said he couldn't do it, and the whole city was against him, the whole town. And I always tend to feel like I'm the underdog, and I've embraced it now. So I just saw a similar situation, and I know that there's other people who have felt that way, and Bobby Boucher was just a medium to do it in a fun way. His Adam Sandler movies are great. They're family. They're fun, and that's like the vibe that I wanted to bring to the song to still emphasize that message, to overcome all our obstacles, but doing it in a way that others will understand, and yeah, use a fun, funny character to really bring the song to life.
Yeah. That's so deep. Really deep, man. And I guess with that, are there any other characters that you identify with in that sense? Besides, Bobby Boucher and Alice in Wonderland, like we talked about earlier, that you could think of
In films,
in films, TV shows, anything?
yeah, I definitely see myself in a lot, but at the top of my head, Nothing really comes to mind right now, but actually I lied. Cat in the Hat, you know, the live action movie?
Yes.
Yeah, so I watched the whole thing. I hadn't seen it since, I was a kid, and I remember walking out like, the hell was that? And I never watched it since. But rewatching it, I thought it was hilarious. And it was like that specific scene where he's in the kitchen and he has a knife and he says, "I'll get you and I'll make it look like a bloody accident." And it just, as a kid, you kind of say dumb things like that to
Yeah,
like your friends and stuff,
absolutely.
or maybe even now, still now, just light threats. But I just thought it was really funny. And I saw that scene and I don't know how, but I need to make that into a song. And so I just kind of find situations or scenes in movies and films and everything that I take in, and I'm just like commit to making it into a song and making it work.
Okay. And what about music? Are there any artists that you're inspired by?
Yes, so I'm kind of making a genre, I would say blend and not switch because I'm still staying true to my roots, but
Yeah.
I've been very influenced by like indie rock lately
Okay.
and like Dominic Fike,
Mm.
Dominic
Yeah.
Fike,
Yeah, Fike. Yeah.
Dominic, Mr. Dominic. I've
Yeah.
been inspired by his music and the vibes and just the ambience of it's just it's welcoming, it's friendly, it's fun, and yet it's still mellow and exciting. So, but my favorite artist right now is Pity Party Girls Club. Amazing. Just vibes, immaculate. Just let me get a feature.
And is there any besides them, are there any other artists that you would like to collaborate with in the future?
Yeah, it kind of goes against the genre, but like Ski Mask, like where we at? Ski Mask the Slump Frog. I named my
Okay.
frog after you. Okay, Ski Mask the Slump Frog. I would love a feature. I think I don't know how, but we would make it work. Amazing artist. I saw him at Rolling Loud. His performance, his stage presence, incredible. Energy, all of it. We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Amazing. Okay. Shout out to Ski Mask.
Shout out Ski Mask.
And so I want to talk about your latest single, 86400. Where does that number come from, first of all? That's my first question with that song.
Okay, so I sometimes I start without much when I create a song, and the simple premise was I'm tired of people wasting my time.
Mm,
And I was like, everybody says that. How can I say that differently? And I was like, I don't want to waste a second on these people. And it just started trickling into, all right, well, how many seconds are in a day? And so that's where 86,400 seconds comes from. It's the seconds in a day. So I have 86,400 seconds and I won't waste it on anybody who's undeserving.
wow. And I could have totally said 86,400, but I was like 86400. What is happening? Second question for that was how did you collaborate with the producers on that song? How did that come about with that collaboration?
So I have my main producer, Raul
Yeah.
Mystery Babusa. Shout out Raul. And he's done probably the last 15 beats that I've had. We've gotten to a point where I kind of give him an idea of what I want and he just brings it to life. And like he's starting to understand the elements that like I rock with.
Yeah.
He understands what I'm asking for, even when I don't know what I'm asking for.
Mm,
So shout out Raul, and then yeah, it just comes together. So sometimes it's lyrics to beat, and sometimes it's beat to lyrics, because certain beats give off certain vibes,
yes.
and so sometimes I'll write to the beat, but majority of the time, like I already have them written, either half songs or full songs, because I my brain is all over the place. So most of the time they're half written songs because then I get ideas for another song, and I probably have like 30 plus songs, either half or fully written, just because I get so excited that I start on new ones
Yeah.
and just so many projects.
Yeah. That's insane. And with that, what's I guess what's next in the music side of things for Love Me Roommate, would you say?
So definitely putting out more music is a goal.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely finding my sound. And I think that influence of indie rock, it's what I've been meaning to find and creating it in my own way.
Mhm.
And I'm really liking the results. And I think I've kind of found the way that I want to sound. And I've been searching for that. And it just wasn't fully there. And I think I'm finding it, which is very exciting. And I feel that my writing is improving daily. So I'm just really excited to show everybody what I'm working on. And I think if you check out my catalog, that you could definitely see my improvement. And I think that's what artists should do.
Yeah.
Leave their old stuff up and not be afraid to just show everything. I want to show all of me and you can have your opinion of it. I want to be open and I want to be genuine to my best self. And I think that's just leaving it all out there.
Yeah. All part of the journey. Absolutely. And with that, you have your upcoming performance at the SOS Festival in Long Beach, which is this weekend, I believe. What can fans expect from the performance?
SOS Fest by Sav and Civil Circus. Shout out Sav and all of them. Open Mic LB. Anybody who allows me to be on a show, a platform, the opportunity. So shout out Sav, Civil Circus, and SOS Fest, which is June 29th. And what to expect is I have a guest performer with me, and she's a star. And I'm really excited. I think she's really going to bring what I already thought was going to be a killer set just to uplift it. Dessert is good by itself, but you can always add some ice cream. So she's really providing that extra sweetness, and I'm ready to put on a show. She's ready to put on a show. I would write a 3-page apology MLA format if you don't love my set.
Okay.
I'm confident you will love it.
Okay. Take your word on that. So, where can we find your music at?
So I go by Love Me Roommate on everything, social media, Spotify, Apple, wherever you stream your music. LoveMeROOMMATE.
I like how you flowed that. Okay. Well, thank you again, Love Me Roommate. Really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having me. Shout out Traklife.